Asohana yatamo maitolomi. Maitolomi. Asojija yatamo maitolomi. Maitolomi. Asohana yatamo maitolomi. Maitolomi. Ari preti yatamo maitolomi. Maitolomi. Aso preti yatamo maitolomi. Maitolomi. Asohana yatamo maitolomi. Maitolomi. Ari preti yatamo maitolomi. Maitolomi. Akomato. Asonyanya akomato yobolo. Akomato. Asonyanya akomato yobolo. Yanyala komato bo weni sobo weni orisalasa. Akomato bo weni sobo weni orisalasa. Akomato. Asonyanya akomato yobolo. Akomato. Akomato yobolo. Akomato. Asonyanya akomato yobolo. Yanyala komato weni sobo weni orisalasa. Akomato weni sobo weni orisalasa. Akomato. Asonyanya akomato yobolo. Aripeti akomato. Asonyanya akomato yobolo. Akomato. Asonyanya akomato yobolo. Yanyala komato bo weni sobo weni orisalasa. Akomato bo weni sobo weni orisalasa. Akomato. Asonyanya akomato yobolo. Solo de melodie, amale metangala. Solo de melodie, amale metangala. Solo de melodie, amale metangala. Solo de melodie.
Hey, Raz.
Amale metangala. Solo de melodie, amale metangala.
How are you? I'm okay. Give folks a few more minutes to come in. Hello, hello. Hi, good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. What a time we live in. What a time we live in. How's everybody doing? Everybody good?
Yeah, did you know that Maladoma passed?
Yeah, I did hear that around that. Was it either the day before? Was it the day before or the day after Bell Hooks?
It was last week. I didn't know.
It was announced around the same time. You're right, but it was last week.
Good evening, good people.
Good evening. Good evening. Hey, Katie. What's happening?
How's everybody doing?
Good. I'm good. Things are slowing down. The pace is slowing down. Things are shifting, a lot of transformational stuff happening.
Full moon tomorrow.
Full moon, and this full moon is I saw something. Let me go pull it up again. Oh shoot, I've got my person here. But this particular full moon is an important one.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, I was reading a magazine the other day that went through the 13 moons. And it identified this moon's purpose in that. And I wish I had it. I remember when I read it, I was struck by it, but then I kept reading other stuff. So it wasn't something I meditated on necessarily. It was just something that was interesting. So, but it is supposed to be a pretty important moon going into the new year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Mm-hmm. Why don't we do our check-ins? Patumbi checked in saying he's at a pop-up right now, which means RNs right now, right? I'm not up on some of those, like shorthand. I'm not. I just got IKR like maybe 5 months ago, and it was another one, LBS. I literally had to look up LBS like a month ago. I'm not kidding you. I'm like, why do people keep saying pound? No, it's not pounds. It's got to be something. I'm just so like literal. Like, what are you talking about?
So what do you think about the people putting MFF to the Orishas on social media?
I've never seen that. What?
Have you seen that? Yeah, instead of saying
my MFer?
No.
No. Instead of my
Fede, they're shortening it to MFF.
No,
yeah.
I'm sorry. No, I can't. No, it's a no for me.
I've never seen that.
It's a no for me.
Yeah, I was joking with my friend. We were talking about the other day because I think just some people, if you just happen to look at their stuff, it'll say MFF and then whatever insert an Orisha name.
Are you sure it's not those internet babalaos?
It probably is. It probably is.
Oh, I don't need no shorthand to talk to my Orisha. I'd rather speak in full. I don't need to learn no shorthand Ocha stuff. I'm people barely know prayers and doing MFF for my FedEx. You know what I mean? Come on, people. Come on. Come on with the come on. Oh.
It's the 21st century, Ia. We got to get with it.
I'm gonna have to. Bro. I'm gonna have to do so or at my own peril. Don't I'll be lost in the woods of conversation while other people are going, yeah, that's and I'm like, what's happening? So I need to get with the times. As my folks usually get with the times. Oh. I will when I need to. I will. What's could you imagine saying, "In my fair show"? Could you imagine?
No.
In my family, No, it's a no.
I would be very, very concerned.
Yeah. There's something that's not very reverent in that.
Exactly. That's
And
what
I
it
prefer the
feels.
reverent approach.
It's a lot. It took me a minute to figure out what they were trying to say. And I was like, oh, I get it now. I saw it on multiple people.
Right. And then you put it together.
On different sites, or is this one page?
No, it's different people, like, even people responding in the comments to stuff. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh. Nah, you won't see me doing that.
I didn't mean to derail the check-in. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. You're good. You're good.
That's your check-in, MFF. Right.
I know Roz has been
traveling the entire time.
Oh, yeah. I know Roz has been traveling to Puerto Rico and a few other places, right?
Yeah, but yeah, I have to tell you, I don't know if you saw the videos that I posted, but I was there specifically for the holiday celebrations. And they Three Kings is very prominent in Puerto Rico,
yeah,
which I knew.
It's a big deal.
I didn't know they do rituals, Ia.
Oh.
I was at a promesa, and it moved me. They do these prayers. It's basically like a musical rosary. They do a series of prayers to the Three Kings.
Mm-hmm.
And I was almost in tears, and it hit me. I was like, you know what? I bet you those singers are Santeros.
And they very likely,
they were.
Yeah,
they were. But it was beautiful. It was really beautiful.
That sounds lovely. Yeah, I love. I've not done much with that, but the little exposure I've had is very beautiful stuff. Very beautiful. Very beautiful rituals and was reverence, right? The reverence, is really strong and really present in a lot of that, a lot of those practices. Yeah, and that's why I say, we can talk about all these separations around how traditions and knowledge of traditions keep us in certain lanes spiritually, but if you connect to that source, that's just a connection to the source. And it's important to recognize that, and not and I think that's probably part of why your experience was so rich, because you've had such varied experiences traveling and through your life, that you could actually connect with the divine, rather than see it as a foreign kind of thing.
I was not expecting it. It really hit me, and I was like, whoa. But it was very beautiful, and I was really grateful for the experience. I was in the mountains, and they taught me so much about self-determination and faith, because they're just forgotten about because they're high up in the mountains and aid doesn't get to them. So a lot of them are just getting power, and they're like, we just did it ourselves. We didn't wait,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's something to think about, right? It's been
Yep. Yeah.
God bless them. Yeah. Wow. So how are you doing, Miss Katie?
Hi everyone. I'm doing really good. I started my job. So after like a month, I started on Monday, and now I'm off for 2 weeks. So I was like, this is great. Yeah,
that's a great setup.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is nice. So that I'm sorry, I'm kind of like taking in. There's like an energy on this Zoom right now, and I'm like kind of flowing with it. So I had a whole bunch to say, but I learned that I talk a lot, but don't let myself experience it. So I guess I'll just give myself time to process all the goodness that I'm feeling. but it's been a great week. A better phone or
Hey, all day.
yeah.
All day.
Yep. Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm glad you started your job. We've been talking about that job for a minute.
It's literally been a month.
Yeah.
I was like, look now, I got my finger on the trigger to another application if I don't hear something. So, but it all worked out and it was perfect timing. And I get another break.
Yeah. Look at God. All right. It's so fun because Tiara doesn't have to give us updates. Her and Nazia give us visual updates. We see exactly what's happening there.
Yep. She's eating a cookie.
All right.
Well, they're baby cookies, so they don't have sugar. It's bananas and sweet potatoes.
Oh. Sounds like a good cookie to me.
Yeah, it does.
Actually, she's smearing it all over her tongue. Just gonna let her live her life.
Right. All right. That's what's up. Hey, Miss Kiara, how are you?
Hello, everyone. Apologies, I'm not on video. I'm driving currently. I come home in the next 5 minutes, but definitely am grateful to be here this evening and am showing up in a space of really deep gratitude and reflection.
All right. Thank you for checking in. Look forward to seeing you and you when we touch home base. So tonight, literally as we speak, in the streets of Cuba, there are parades happening. There are people carrying statues of San Lázaro, the Orisha, the saint that is, well, for better, there's a whole thing behind that, but syncretized with Babaluaye. There are people who are dressed in purple and white and wearing something. Some people who are laceros or initiated to the cult of Babaluaye have on something called the kasha, which is what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my kasha tonight. I'm wearing my leke for Babaluaye. They're praying. They're pilgriming. They're doing a pilgrimage rather to a very sacred and centuries old church where they will present offerings of flowers and candles and prayers and in a very festive and very reverent and festive atmosphere. This is one of the biggest and most unifying moments in Cuba, whether people practice Lucumí or not. They all appeal to San Lázaro, Babaluaye, and ask for his blessings, his intercession on their behalf. Of course, the whole families are involved, the elderly, the cripple, all form of individual and of various backgrounds, rich, poor, all of that are all praising and worshiping Babaluaye today. And so that's why I said, it would to me be remiss not to have a time for us to kind of come together, set some time to talk about Babaluaye, give you all a chance to ask any questions. Some of you may have seen some of this information before because I'm doing something similar to the presentation I did before, but adding information about the Agban this time. So you all know, for those of you who have not experienced it, could have some information for yourself about it. The interesting thing, and I believe I've shared this before about Babaluaye, is that the saint he is syncretized with, to the knowledge of researchers, is not a part of the Catholic canon. So there has been, likely to many, in many people's knowledge who have studied this, there's been no canonization of San Lazaro in the Catholic Church. So this saint, as it is worshipped and as it is propitiated in Cuba, is uniquely Cuban. So it's an interesting, so even looking at Baba Luaye as an Orisha and the patron saint that is worshipped in his honor, it is a really unique kind of example of how Africans who were enslaved found a way to still connect to and worship a very important Orisha in Nigeria and in Old Dahomey, which is the Arara kingdom, which is situated in Benin, in the area really kind of where Benin and Nigeria are pretty much the same region. To make use of this idea of cloaking the Orisha for the purposes of resistance against repression and taking away the opportunity to worship. So Baba Luaye and San Lazaro are a really interesting example of the active use of that syncretization to preserve the worship of Baba Luaye. And to keep his connection to what is meaningful for him as an Orisha alive in a saint that is not an Orisha. So, so I wanted to kind of give that background so that you all have a sense of what's interesting to me, an interesting thing about even the worship of Baba Luaye. Let me make sure I get on the right slide before I start. Okay. So let's see, let's get to the screen. Here we go. So I'm going back to a approach that I took early on without, for most of the classes we've had, where we talk about, who or what is Baba Luaye, how do we work with Baba Luaye, and hopefully we'll get to some Pataki. If not, we will definitely cover the Agban. Okay, we'll see how far we get today, because I want to do a little check-in, so we can connect with each other. So here is a scene from that in Cuba of a man who is, I don't think he's an elegum. I don't think he's mounted in possession. I believe he is literally just worshiping Baba Luaye. So what is happening and what people do on this procession and this pilgrimage to this church is many of them drag their bodies in the streets the way Baba Luaye is believed to have lived when he was at his lowest and when he was so debilitated that he couldn't walk and he couldn't stand. And so some processional folks who are particularly priests of Baba Luaye will hold that posture as they are literally doing their pilgrimage to this church in Havana, in Regla. So I wanted to just show you that picture just because it's literally happening as we're speaking. So I wanted to kind of give you all a picture of what something you might see if you experience this pilgrimage. This is actually something for me. At some point in my life, I'd like to actually be a part of an experience because it's such a monumental part of our worship and of experiencing actually even beyond our worship, experiencing Cuban culture, because this is a part of Cuban culture at this point. So Baba Luaye is the translation of Baba Luaye literally is Baba Ilu Aye, which means Father and Lord of the world. And so there's lots of different names that he's called, and you may hear them interchangeably. Baba Luaye, Omo Lu, Asohano, Shopona, which is a word that refers to his worship in the Benin region, in the Dahomey region of Nigeria. So all of these names speak to him having some status in the world. So for some people, it's interesting because oftentimes when we dance for Baba Luaye, his dances don't recognize that something is not, he doesn't dance with someone that has status as a, like Shango. Shango's dances are very broad with, you're doing these hand swipes and you're having these big broad steps and your head is upwards. But with Baba Luaye, the dances show that there's someone who's infirmed who's dancing. So the story of how he became the father of the world involves understanding how illness and affliction impacted his reign and impacted his reign in the Yoruba kingdom, and eventually his ascension in Dahomey. And some of you may recall, Shango has a lot to do with his worship too, and we will talk about that for sure. He is considered the owner of diseases. He is, a lot of Pateki talk about him being afflicted with diseases that particularly affect the skin. Leprosy is the disease that is most often referred to him in Pateki of when he was at his lowest and he was stricken. So to the point where he was barely able to hold himself to walk into travel when he was ousted from Yoruba land. He is associated with pandemics because he's believed to have the power to have effect over how the world experiences disease, which is part of how he is Father and Lord of the world, because he has power over something that, if unchecked and out of control, can literally adversely affect ability to do anything else. So his ownership of disease really makes him a powerful Orisha, and one that generally in our tradition we hold in very high regard and work with very carefully. So as I mentioned, he's associated with leprosy and skin diseases. And I should also mention he's associated with sexually transmitted diseases. He has a lot of connections with the Pateki and stories around that affliction and lessons learned from that. And I'll say, and also patron of the poor for the reason I mentioned. He was kicked out of his own kingdom and was in the streets for who knows how long, but went from the highest heights of royalty to becoming poor and begging on the streets and desolate. And so Baba Luaye is a pretty important Orisha in terms of, having such having those experiences in Pataki, and those experiences really do help us to understand the importance of finding one's reign in the world, of finding one's kingdom in the world, finding one's place, purpose in the world, and how Baba Luaye, he felt he had a purpose, lost everything, and through the help of Shango, Mafere Fun Shango, Kawo Kabe Sile Shango, through Shango, he was able to regain his dignity, regain his place, regain his status, and ascend and become a well-loved and worshipped Orisha. So Baba Luaye in some ways for me is a complex Orisha, because there's so many things he's connected with, because he's connected to disease, and because he's connected to kingdom, and having a kingdom, and having power, and knowing how to reign properly, and learning lessons that come with losing, and then having to rebuild one's life. So Baba Luaye is a very important Orisha in those respects. Any questions so far? Okay. So I kept it really short last time in terms of talking about how do we work with Baba Luaye, because I wanted to focus a lot on the Pataki. But really, working with Baba Luaye really it goes back to the lessons that we learned from his reign in Yoruba land, his dissension, where he was deposed and kicked out and beaten, and taken to the very low of his own existence, and Shango having pity on him, and basically taking his vestments, his royal vestments. So what Shango did was took his royal vestments, and he used them to clothe and heal Baba Luaye. So he used his own clothes and divine power to bring Baba Luaye to the point where he can be healed from the diseases of the skin that he had. And he literally took Baba Luaye and carried Baba Luaye on his back, as Pataki talks about, and carried him until he could walk on his own to his new kingdom, where he became a beloved king in Arara, in Old Dahomey. So whenever we work with Baba Luaye, Shango has something to do with it, because of the many Patakis that talk about this really important role that Shango played, which shows in many ways Shango's power, right, as an Orisha, to have the power, because he was, as I mentioned in previous classes, he's known as to be a great musician, not musician, a great magician, or someone who is associated with great feats that no one else could do. He's also associated with Osine, if you guys remember. He's associated with being a really great friend to Osine, which is the Orisha of medicine, the Orisha of herbs. There are like one of the, there's several praise names for Shango, or Shango Urueko Ashe Osine, talking about his relationship as being the king of the ability to heal, and the king of herbs, right? So it's very interesting to me that he has that place in our understanding of the world, and he uses that to support, through his knowledge of that, through his vestments, he uses that to heal Baba Luaye. So the connection there is very important. and very, very deep. So that's something to always keep in mind, is to always, we always thank Shango for what he did for Baba Luoye, so that Baba Luoye could reign properly and also help the world heal from disease. And so there's more to that, but we'll, in the interest of time, I want to see if you guys have any questions, and I want to leave time for to talk about the Atban in the process. So go ahead.
Yeah, can I see the oh my God, the leke for Baba Luoye? I don't know that I've ever seen it.
Oh, it is, okay, so here's another thing. So Baba Luoye, because he's has worship in so many different places, there are many different aspects of Baba Luoye. So if you see one necklace, you haven't seen them all, because my necklace is very different. And not a lot of people have my road of Baba Luoye, so I have, my road of Baba Luoye is all black.
Oh.
And so it's a particular road of Baba Luoye. Most people have Afimaye, which is another road of Baba Luoye. So when you see the purple, and another thing that's interesting, that the association with purple and royalty, which we associate with Baba Luoye, and the Saint Lazaro. So they even gave Saint Lazaro's royal vestments like Baba Luoye had. So many interesting connections. Anyway, so oftentimes you'll see the beads of Baba Luoye, and I think I have a picture of a throne to show. Like even my, I just had some more clothes made for me for Baba Luoye. I can't wear them right now because I'm in all white, because I'm a Yawo of the knife. But oftentimes the color purple and burlap. So you'll see beads that have that kind of brownish, purplish, brownish color. Eos beads are like that. Purplish, brownish color. Oftentimes you'll see trade beads that have like strips of white and red and blue, or different colors in them. Really beautiful beads. The beads for Baba Luoye, I get the black, I just get black beads, but they're really, really beautiful. So yeah, so there are many different roads for Baba Luoye, and so my particular road is only has black. So anyone who receives Baba Luoye receives specific aspects of his divinity. So, any other questions before I go into how do we work with him? Okay, so because there are so many extremes in Patakis of how Baba Luoye had to learn lessons around a lot of extreme behavior, whether it be extreme in his ability, because he's so close to disease, if he were angry or if he were, some people, we've been working a lot with Baba Luoye over this pandemic, because many people say that there's a reason why we're having to go through this process and having to learn certain lessons about what we're doing in terms of how we treat people, how we live in moderation, all of these things, climate change. You can look at and how climate change is related to diseases that come from erosion of the earth, and all kinds of ways that these things are interconnected. You can really connect them to Baba Luoye and the lessons that we're learning about moderation. Many of the Pataki referred to the time when he was sexually promiscuous, and took his reign as a means to kind of have all that he wanted. So he can have all of the encounters with women he wanted. He could have all of the power and prestige, and without dealing with people who are poor that he wanted. He can avoid the dealing with the poor, all he wanted. He can avoid all of these things that his status afforded him, and he had to learn through his deposement that he could not live that life. So when he gained his status, regained his crown and throne and status in Arara, in Dahomey, he lived a more balanced existence and ruled with more balance. And so moderation is a huge, huge theme with Babalola, is particularly as it relates to sexual partners and how you deal with sexual partners, in terms of how you deal with authority and having authority, in terms of how we treat those who are less fortunate. And so there are all these lessons around moderation that we learn through the patakis of Babalola that come up as warnings. When the HIV/AIDS was at its peak, Babalola was very important, Orisha, in helping to support, health and growth, health and well-being for that community, and supporting for all of us, because we were all affected by it. It wasn't just LGBTQIA folks, it was all of us, right? But there were a lot of really important lessons in some aspects of what happened in that peak, when that disease peaked, that Babalola was well positioned to help in that community with. And I remember how that was a really big deal back then. And of course, as I think it's implied, but practicing humility, and that's connected to giving alms, of course. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in relationship to the Agban. So to me, I mean, I can go into a lot more about the lessons, but I think all of the lessons we learn about how to work with Babalola in terms of our comportment and our character go back to these three primary issues, the three primary things that we can do to really, give ourselves a chance to be in alignment with Babalola. Any questions about anything? It's pretty straightforward. All right, so I want to give us some time to talk about the Agban, give you all a chance to ask any questions you want to ask. So we tend to do the Agban in the evening because we tend to keep the light, we do it when the light is low. And you notice the light, the sky, this is a scene from Cuba, I believe. The sky, even though it was during the day, was definitely during the eve of the day, given where the sun is. We tend to do it towards the evening or at night. To this time, we're doing it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but because it gets dark by 4:30, it'll feel pretty much the same way. So as is mentioned before, we're gonna all dress in white. It is a process of using different items that symbolize cleaning off disease. So things that are that in some ways represent postulates on the skin. That's why we work so much with beans, because they kind of represent what postulates on the skin would look like, right? Those, when we get bumps on the skin like a leopard would have, we're in a way using those items as a way to kind of remove those, the prospect of those items being a part of our bodies, being a part of our health. So that's why we use a lot of beans. And we use items that are in nature that are absorbent as well. So particularly root vegetables, like we oftentimes have yams, cut up potatoes, sometimes even carrots. I think we had carrots at the last one we just did last month, or this month actually. Carrots, different root vegetables, taro. Oftentimes in the Agban process generally, you're gonna, because we are dealing with the earth, we're dealing with healing ourselves in connection with the earth, in connection with the healing power of the earth. So in Agban, generally, you'll see root vegetables that are from the earth that are part of the healing process, because we're working with that energy in order to facilitate healing. So you'll see a lot of those types of vegetables in the process. We also have fruit. Fruit is a nice absorbent that also can clean. We use those for cleaning generally, like if you want to clean with olokun, you can do what's called sarayeye at the foot of olokun. And even if you have olokun and you're not initiated, you can still do that. You can still, if for some reason something comes up and you don't feel well, or you don't have, or you're feeling out of balance, or you're feeling like need some little extra bump, you can clean yourself at the foot of certain orishas using fruit, because fruit is a great absorbent and can be used for healing. So you'll see we'll have apples cut up. We'll have different things that have that kind of texture to it, like a potato. Pears sometimes are used because it has those little beads that are kind of like little baby postulates in the texture of the skin. So pears are also sometimes used as a cleaning agent in an agban. We also have grains. Grains also of the earth. They also can be used as a cleaning agent. So you'll have grains. We'll have cornmeal. We'll have, as you can probably see some of that in the picture. We'll have cornmeal. We'll have. She didn't ask for cornmeal and okra. I'm gonna remind Iya that we need cornmeal and okra because we did not have that. I'm gonna write it down. I'm sorry, I gotta write it down because 50-plus-year-old brain will not remember. So I'm gonna write down right now, and then I'll say, "Oh my God, thank you," because that's what we do. I'm gonna write that right down, right there, put it in my face so I can remember to tell her we need cornmeal and okra. So you'll have grains. You'll clean with the grains. You'll clean with sometimes there's popcorn, which is also a postulate in a sense, right? Because it literally pops out of its skin. So you'll see unsalted popcorn, which is often used in these rituals. So it's normally popcorn that's cooked over the stove. You just with like coconut oil, because he works a lot with coconut oil and coconut water. A little coconut oil in your pan. You can use that, and you can clean with popcorn. So you're going to see all these different things. And we're also, because we're dealing with chasing away things that might, impact our flesh, you'll see raw meat. You'll see raw beef, like some of you have cleaned with raw beef at the feet of Ogun, right? So it's an agent for sarayeye. So it's another way that we use animal parts, so to speak, to support our self-preservation. So you'll see raw meat. So you'll see all these different items, right? That represent cleaning, represent removing disease, represent removing taking in, absorbing those things from us that we don't want to hold on to. You'll see all these things. And when I mentioned giving alms first. So when you start, I mentioned that we should have a few dollars, like $1 or $2 bills, because we literally, as an act of, and this is what's happening in Cuba right now, as an act of remembering that time when Baba Luaye was on the street and had nothing, we give to others who may not have. So we bring like a $1 bill each. It doesn't have to be a lot of money, and we put it in a hikara. that is wet with water, and we put that, we dip it in the water and put it around the rim, and then we start cleaning. So and that's an act that acknowledges Babaluaye. And so another thing in giving alms, sometimes when you work with this energy a lot, when you work with Babaluaye regularly, and some of you will come to experience more, you'll feel like when you encounter somebody who has that energy that would connect you in some ways thinking about Babaluaye. That happens. So you may encounter someone, because what Baba is, even, and I can say this too, there are aspects of certain people, when they receive Babaluaye, actually have to do this act. They actually have to go through the act of asking for alms. So so you might sometimes encounter somebody on the street, like sometimes when I see people on the street and they're on their knees, there's this one guy, this one person, I saw him for years. I have not seen him since the pandemic. I don't know whatever happened to him, but he used to be in downtown Chicago. And he would be on his knees with a cardboard underneath his knees on like Michigan and Congress or Michigan and Van Buren, depending on where what was going on with him. And he would be in all black, and he would have his hands in prayer, and he would just be rocking back and forth, and praying. That's all he would do. He wouldn't say, "Give me anything." He wouldn't say, "Help the homeless." He wouldn't do that at all. He would just rock back and forth on his knees, and he would be in that position for hours. Because there were times when I would see him, I would leave, or I would be in a restaurant or someplace nearby, and he would not move. That moves me when I see that. It does. If it's his game, it's his game. To me, it doesn't matter, right? I don't judge around those things. When somebody's on the homeless on the street, how are we gonna judge what their game is, right? I don't have a place in my heart for that. So I would give him $1. And I say a prayer to Babaluaye when I give $1. So sometimes you'll encounter that energy even on the streets that will remind you of that time when he was at his lowest, and he was in the streets and looking for something to help bring him up so that he can, become the king that he became and for the Arara people. So this energy of Babaluaye is something that we can encounter, even like we can encounter the energy of an Elekba on the street. Sometimes when I encounter a young man who's asking for help or something, there's something about the energy of the person. I'll say, yeah, I think Elekba's testing me. I'm gonna give this person something. Sometimes it happens. You feel like, I think I'm being tested. And you just feel energy. Sometimes people will respond because a person's wearing red and black, or black and white, or red, black and white, or however that might go, or they have a certain look or feel about them. You're like, yeah, you're getting some of this today. So just keeping in mind that's part of the energy of Babaluaye, because he is out there, and that's saying in many ways the way we see Elekba, except a bit different because of his status is a bit different from Elekba, but some of that same energy sometimes applies. I just wanted to mention that related to giving alms. So when you go into the ceremony, you're going to receive something that's going to an herb that is associated with Babaluaye and associated with the ceremony. Make sure you get one before you clean yourself or anything, because it's an herb that's meant to support you and protect you. Okay, so those are oftentimes passed around. Make sure, and if whomever, and for those of you who are able to come in some point in the future, that is one for you and one for your kids. Always. So make sure you do that and take care of that for those of you who have the chance to do this in the future. So you're going through you're cleaning yourselves. You're literally, all of you have done some sadayeye with me, right? So in this case, before you get to the point where the priests are cleaning you, you have to clean yourself. So you literally taking things in your hands, rolling them on your body. And focus on areas of your body where you really do need healing. You really need healing. If you're feeling, if your knees ain't working for you like they used to, rub on them knees. If you're having issues with your legs, rub on your legs. If you're having issues with your stomach, if you're having issues with acid reflux or ulcers or whatever, rub and pray. Focus on that. And I always tell all y'all when you clean, focus on the back of your neck. That's where Shui Pako is, right? And that energy is the energy that we want to always keep clean and clear so we don't repeat mistakes of the past. We don't trip over our own destiny, right? So that we can move forward in life. So you always clean the back of your neck. And then you roll it over your head 3 times, and then you throw it in the basket. Not at the basket, not around the basket. Because we want to make sure, because the thing is, priests have to clean up everything that's not in the basket, or at least push it. So the more we get in the basket, the less we have to clean up afterwards. So we put it in the basket, and you just go around. You just grab 2 hands of everything. You just move around in a circle, move around in a circle, move around in a circle, until you get to the point where you're getting cleaned by the priests. And so you'll turn around in a circle like they're asking you to, and you just keep turning and walking, keep turning and walking while they clean you with different things until you get to the part with the eggs. And that's when someone will clean your eyes with eggs 3 times. So wait for them to finish cleaning. It might be me, it might be somebody else. I normally do the eye thing. I normally do the eggs thing. That's my thing. But stand and let them clean your eyes. And then you're done with the cleaning part. So the whole time you're doing it, if you can remember, because when you're in, I'm giving you guys a heads up about the process so you can actually focus on praying, focus on centering yourself, focus on praying for what you want to have removed from you. And don't think about only the physical diseases, think about the emotional, think about the metaphysical, think about all those aspects of your life and of your being that you want to have healed. And give that and clean yourself in thought and as not physically, and clean yourself through how you're thinking and asking for things to be removed from you. So that when you leave there, you will have not only gone through the process physically, but you've gone through the process mentally as well, because that's important. And for me, it took me a while to figure that out, because for years I was doing this. I've done it in different in different cities, different places, and no one told me this. I wish they had. Just go ahead, hurry up. But it's moving too slow. People start saying, "Come on, let's go." You're like, So when you think about it, think about the process. Think about what you're doing. Think about what you're actually physically doing for yourself and spiritually doing for yourself, so that you can actually leave feeling like, okay, I connected with the energy that was there. I connected with the opportunity to be clean that was there. Because this Omicron, y'all, it ain't playing with nobody. It ain't playing. They're saying the infection rate is what, 30 times higher or something crazy like that? Is that what it was, Roz? 30 times higher, right? So, I'm going to keep my mask on the whole time I'm there, because, there are people that are going to be there probably from other places that normally don't come regularly to the ELA. So it's going to be a different atmosphere. And like I said, I think it was last week, I understand for some people who may feel like, oh, there might be too many folks. I don't know, but if you got your booster and you got your vaccine, technically you should be okay. But of course, everyone should mask up. Everyone should mask up who's able to come. So I wanted to get through all of that and leave time for questions. Sometimes, some nights y'all are quiet, some nights y'all are not quiet. So wanted to give y'all a chance. Hey, Roz. Yeah.
Yeah. I know we're not supposed to give citrus for offerings, but what about for cleaning?
It's not considered a good agent for cleaning. Technically. A locum accepts everything. So you have a locum. So if you wanted to clean with oranges with your locum, there's nothing saying you cannot. But normally we use fruits that have like an absorbent texture to them, or a texture that's more closer to root vegetables, like apples and pears and stuff like that. It's not to say you cannot use oranges, but technically we tend not to focus on oranges as a cleaning agent.
About limes?
Same, it's a citrus. It's the same. Same with limes or lemons. We tend not to use those in ritual that way. I don't know if it's the acidic nature of them. I don't know if that's what it is. But I very, very, very rarely have I seen that presented for Agban. But like I say, if you want to present to a locum and you want to clean yourself at a locum's feet, a locum's not gonna say no. You can't clean me with oranges. A locum takes everything. So, but let's talk it through. If you want to do that, I can divine to make sure that that's something that you can do, and there's nothing else that you need to do.
But if I used apples or something, would I just slice them, or is there a certain?
If you want to do with a locum, you don't technically. It depends on how many pieces you have. Normally, we use 7 pieces. You can do 7 whole pieces of fruit, right? So if you clean yourself with the 7 whole pieces of fruit and leave it with a locum for a day and then take it to the garbage outside, that should be fine.
Okay.
But because you're going to be refreshing, I don't know if you saw did I send an email about refreshing Orishas? I know I talked about it last week.
No, I didn't see anything.
Okay, I talked about it last week. Didn't I talk about it last week though? Refreshing Orishas at the end of the year? Okay, I talked about it at the last meeting we had, the ELA meeting we had last week. That's what it was. So whatever you do, if you want to do it, you have to do it before the end of the year because you have to refresh your Orisha at the end of the year. And we'll talk about that, Ron. Yeah, so you have to do that. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, for that.
Yeah, I have a question. I know for guests, you said for them to cover their head as well. Should they come in white as well?
Yes, if at all possible, yes.
Okay.
Yes, is asking for everyone to wear white this year. Yeah, and because it's also for multiple reasons, we're closing out. This is like considered the last day for our ELA to do the Wear White campaign. So we're using this event to kind of close that out. So some of us have to be in white anyway, like me. But for those who are coming, if they can wear at least a white shirt and khaki pants, like the light khaki pants, that would work too. If they can't find white pants, it's okay, as long as they have something that that they can, kind of approximate to the white. Normally, guys tend to wear the beige khaki pants, so that would not be a problem if they have those.
Oh, yeah, I know that you prefer traditional dress. But if it's really cold, would it be okay to wear pants?
I wear pants underneath my skirt all the time. In fact, I'm wearing leggings right now, but I have white jeggings that I've been buying because I have to wear white for 3 months. So I bought white jeggings, and so they're like the jean leggings, I guess they're called. Like, I think that's how you pronounce it, jeggings. So I wear those underneath my skirt. So you can do that too. You can always wear, even if it doesn't fit tight around your ankle. I don't know if y'all notice, but sometimes these old Orishas, they'll be wearing jeans underneath their skirt, their gingham skirts and all that kind of, I do too sometimes. People do what they got to do, but if you want to wear something underneath your skirt that's like a good pair of pants that can help you feel a little more insulated, then that's more than fine.
I have one more question. And so now that it's starting at 3, should the guests still be coming at 3, or is there like a certain time to?
She's saying 3. She's saying 3 for everybody. Mm-hmm. I think she put that on the Eli Osikon page, because I have to keep watching, because I don't go on Facebook. I scroll for 10 minutes and I'm off again. I'm
the same way.
Right. So I have to really force myself to kind of actually look for information for the Elay. And there's so much going on.
Sorry, I missed it. Is the Argonne tomorrow starts at 3 now?
Yes. And if you recall from last week, I told everyone that you can be there at 3 anyway. So, so technically, I was like, well, that's why I put an email out today to let everyone know who wasn't at the meeting to come at 3. If you want to come a little earlier to help out with what we need to do, there's going to be folks there, because there's always somebody there. But if you want to come a little earlier to help chop things or put things on plates, you certainly can. Especially if if you're bringing something, you can help with that. That's very much appreciated. And also, as it relates to the fruit for Yemanja, I don't know who's going to be building the throne. I'm normally not asked to build thrones because I'm really not that good at it. That's not my forte. I mean, I do what I got to do for my Orishas, but it's not really. There are people who are really great at that. I like recognizing my lane. So if you do bring fruit, there's likely gonna have been fruit arranged, like a fruit arrangement, is they have this whole thing where it's very artistic and all that stuff. If the person who I think is gonna build it is doing it, they're very artistic, and so it looks really beautiful. And there's a whole process and reason behind that, why it's done that way. That deals with the Orisha. But so the person, has a whole like artistic feel to it. Even if you come at 3:30 and you come with a bag of apples, don't trip. I have a bag of apples for the throne. We will figure it out. Even if it's pretty and elegant and oh my God, I don't want to mess, you're not messing up nothing. If you happen to not be able to come on time and you come later and you got your bag of apples or you got your bag of grapes or whatever you got, it's more than fine. We will figure it out. Okay. So I think in terms of, is that my last slide? I think that was my last slide. Yeah, that's my last slide. So that's all I have. I guess we do have some time to go over Pataki, but I've been kind of sprinkling Pataki in as we've been talking. Yeah, I may have some time, but I wanted to make sure I answered all questions that you guys may have before I get into that. Because for some of you have gone through it before, but some of you, I was hoping more people would come tonight, but I guess they were not able to. Yeah, oh well. No other questions? Everyone's good?
Are there specific prayers that we should be saying for Baba Luaye? Like, is there a basic?
Baba Luaye's prayers are kind of like tongue twisters, but I can put something up for you guys for that. Let me pull one. I want to make sure I get this. I want to do, there's one that has phonetic spelling that I like. I'm going to pull that one up and give you the translation. Hold on. Let me do that real quick. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Wait, no. No, that's the wrong one. Okay, oops, sorry. No. Oh, shoot. Okay. This is the one. Okay, get to, there we go. Again, the very tongue twisty. Let me think of one to give you guys that will be a good one. Oh, okay, I'll do this one. And so I have some orikis that I can give you all for him. The first one I'll just say is just his praise name, Asohano. And you can of course call him Asohano, Baba Luaye. You can say Alapwa Dukwe, Alapwa Dukwe. We give thanks to the one, oh, that's an interesting one, to the one that, okay, Arumo Logun Ikadan. Okay. All right, we'll say Asoro, Soro, Kue, Leru, the one whose name we don't speak during drought. I was hoping I can get to the, okay. Let's see, another one I can do. Yeah, I don't know. Let me go back. Those are praise names for him. And you can just say Ajuba at the end, or I greet you. Or you can even say Ago. You can say Ago Olode. He's a Lord, we greet you outside. We greet the one who's outside, who owns the outside, who owns, it's like saying he owns the world, with another way of saying it. Allow me, Ago is allow me or make way, which we say for Alegba, right? So you can say, Ago Olode, allow me, great Lord of the outside. A way to kind of ask permission. Ago means allow me, or asking for permission, with permission. Let's see, those are some ways those are some praise names for him. We can, you can start by saying this to Asohano Ibaelomi, which is which is a common thing you can say to any of the Orishas. Iba Loni. That's a good one. This is another saying that we can do. I'm gonna, since we talked about this, I'm gonna remove this so we'll have more room for this. Asahana, we can say, you guys can say, Fia Denu Baba, be merciful. You could say that too. You can even say that here. So Fiadeno is something I say to my Orishas when I pray to them and I'm asking for their intercession. You can say that. It's a way to kind of say, I beg you, or please and please help me, or please thank you. So you can say Asohano Ibaeloni Arumolo Guni Kadanu, one who makes us throw away evil medicines. Asoro Lerum. Actually, this should be Asoro Lenu, one whose name we don't speak during droughts. It's a way to acknowledge that he is powerful to dry things up even further. So you don't talk to him when there's you don't speak his name during drought in the traditional sense, because you're asking him to you're asking him to help with, who is that? In Texas. You're asking him to help with supporting ending disease. So sometimes there's this idea of how he may worsen a situation like a drought if you call his name, because of what he'll do in response to that, given his connection with disease. So you can say that. You don't have to say all of them. You can say them interchangeably. You can say Asohana Ibae Loni, and you can say one or two of these. You don't have to say all of them. You can end with either Ago Lode or Fiadenu Babami Motupwe. Motupwe means thank you. Okay. Any questions? Sorry, these bullet points are kind of messing me up a little bit. Let me get these bullet points out of here. See, now it's messing me up for real. Anyway, is this helpful for what you wanted, Roz? Yeah, there are other praise names. Okay,
yes, so thank you.
Okay, there are other praise names. Agronika is one. We can use Agronika, Asohano, Obaluaye, Babaluaye, Omolu. Even saying praise names to Babaluaye is a way to acknowledge him. So you can use whatever helps and what helps you to feel like you're working with him. Okay. I mentioned to some folks who are not going to be able to come that if you need to do it in your home, oh, that's right. Oh, I have another thing to say. I have an announcement actually. If you want to do it in your home and you, because you were not able to come participate, let me know and I can work with you directly on that and give you some guidance and support around that. Okay, but I wanted everyone to say a prayer for Antonika, her grandfather. He was admitted to the hospital yesterday. No, I'm sorry, not yesterday, today. She texted me today. So I want everyone to kind of keep her and her family in your prayers. They're not sure what's going on with him yet. They were still running tests the last time she and I spoke. It didn't appear to be too big or bad of a crisis, but he's an elder, right? So things can change quickly with elders, right? And there have been signs that have been coming that I've been reading for people of announcing passings, people passing. This time of year is also pretty kind of difficult with that. So just, in your mind's eye, in your heart, just say a prayer for Antonika and her family. She said she wanted to be here today, but it depended on how things went with her grandfather. So since she's not here, I want to make sure I mentioned her so you all can keep her in your mind. Keep her, in your thoughts and prayers. Okay. All righty, so everyone, anyone else need me to keep the screen up for longer? No, you good? Okay.
Hey, yeah, could you actually go back to the other two slides?
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I know you probably have a mask on, but I can't hear you that clearly.
Okay, hold on one second. Okay, I said, could you go back to the other slides so I could screenshot them?
Oh, okay, sure.
In a quarter mile, make a left turn on Northwestern Avenue using the upcoming left lane.
I got that one. I need the one before it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'm sorry, the other two before that too, yeah.
Oh, you trying to screenshot the whole thing?
Okay, the first one, yeah.
Oh, that's just the cover.
Alrighty.
All righty.
Got it. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. All right. So we'll see you all tomorrow. For those of you who are able to come. And let's keep each other in our thoughts and prayers. Thank you, all of you, every last one of you. We were able to raise $625. That is significant. Yeah, I was moved when I told her about the 550. She's gonna be like, what y'all doing over there? She's gonna be so pleased with you all. Thank you so much. This is really gonna help a lot, because what happens generally with this is that she'll come out of her pocket for everything and not ask for a dime. And I didn't share that with anybody because I just wanted people to give from their hearts. But Iya does this all the time. She'll come out of her pocket for everything and not ask for anything. Or she'll ask for amount that won't cover half what it costs to do things. Some of us will just recognize, like, wait a minute, there's no way. I know she didn't even ask people. And then I go, okay. And then, me and a few other people are like, I don't think, yeah, I got it. I'm gonna give her something. We'll just kind of, say, here's something, we do that. So, so I'm really, really, really happy that you all stepped up. Because, it takes a lot to make all of this work. And so it really helps when we have a community of people who are interested to support that. And I know these times are not easy for many of us, or anybody who is able to help for those who are having a tougher time. That's for our ELA as a whole. We're still representing our ELA as a whole because we're all a family here, right? So since I've received the knife, we are officially an ELA, officially, right? So yeah, we are officially our own ELA. So it bears fruit for us in the community when we're able to come together as an ELA and work and show ourselves to be, contributing well and positively to ELA OCCON. So, so I want to thank each and every one of y'all who did and was able to give and able to support this, because this is a really important process. All these ceremonies are very important for all of us collectively. So I really appreciate you all so much. I cannot share with you how appreciative I am without getting all emotional. So I'm not gonna go there. I shouldn't say stop crying. So I'm gonna try to stop crying. Even when I'm happy, I cry when I'm happy. Actually, I don't cry when I'm sad. I cry when I'm happy. So I'm just really grateful to you all. Really grateful. I love you, each and every one of y'all, warts and all. And hope y'all love me, warts and all too. Yay. And this is
Yeah, I was going.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
If anybody needs a ride, I'm free. I'm on my break. So if anybody needs a ride or anything, let me know or text me. Oh, okay.
Fatumbi already said.
We have a very festive, fun ride. So if you want to carpool with us, it would be quite entertaining.
Count on Fatumbi, right? Oh, that's interesting, Dress. I've heard that, yes. And that's happened more with me as I've matured into my Elshunness. It's kind of true. Yeah. When I start laughing, it's because I'm normally pissed about something. Like it is a certain laugh that comes with it. And I laugh when I'm happy too, but when I'm pissed, and I tend to laugh. Like some of y'all have probably seen it. Like when I'm exasperated about something, if you haven't seen it, you will at some point see me laugh. And when I laugh, my kids go, oh, my kids start to do this. Like, oh, Mom is laughing. Not that fun, not that comedy laugh, that other laugh. So yeah, that is something I've heard too. So I'm available tomorrow morning and early afternoon, and I'll be at the ELA as soon as I can. I have to do some running around tomorrow to get things that I'm going to bring too. I think I let y'all know what I'm bringing. I'm bringing, I mentioned fruit, I believe, coconut water, and wine. I'm buying that big old thing of white wine. All right. Okay. All right. Good, Dress, because you got to sweat. So good.
Wait, say it again. Wait, hold on. What you hold on, what you say here?
You got to sweat. You got to sweat, Omo.
Oh man.
You got to sweat. So that's good. All right. All right. I'll see y'all tomorrow. For those I don't see, Kiera, we kind of, I'm so glad you're still hanging out with us, and hopefully we can see each other in a few months. Hopefully you're able to get out there. I think when February hits is when things are really going to start rolling in terms of April. So we want to firm up plans as soon as possible. Flights right now are very affordable to Miami. Very affordable. I got a return flight for what? I think it was $83 or something crazy like that.
What's happening in Miami? What day? What?
You have been keeping up with the, oh, wait, I didn't put it in email because I only wanted to make it here. So, see if Fatumi's gone. There's going to be an initiation in Miami in April, the last week of April. So if you can travel and come out and be a part of that, we would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Hopefully, Carol, you know you are always welcome. You are always, always, always welcome. All right, so if you can come, please come. I'd love to have as many members of our ELA there as possible.
Is it an initiation from our ELA?
It is indeed.
Oh.
So, we're looking at housing options and all kinds of stuff. So, seeing if we can get that together. Hopefully this Omicron business isn't as ravaging as it is right now. Hopefully we'll be on the other side of that by then. Yes, it will be coming up. So if you can come, that would be great. Like I said, we're looking at different, remember, you were there when we had the house in Miami.
Yeah.
And it worked out beautifully, didn't it?
Yeah, it was great.
It was absolutely great. So, we'd like to do something like that again.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it'll be great to have somebody with that experience to kind of help shepherd folks along. It's not a lot to learn or do, but just because we had a good flow with it. We had a very good flow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, so I forgot you weren't on the call last week.
Yeah.
You were traveling. You were in the wind. Yeah.
But my Farafun Elegua, I'm back on Facebook.
Oh, that's right.
And it was December 3rd, after 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a long time. A long time. Wowzer, 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 wowzer. Mm-hmm. There her is. Hey, Nazi.
Hey, hi.
Big girl. Hey, big girl. She's like
the Keely in me.
Yeah, she's got her mind and her eye on something else. She's getting so big. Little legs fluttering. I love that. Her little legs keep moving.
Hi, everybody. We won't be able to make it tomorrow, but y'all keep us in y'all prayers. That Omicron got us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We will keep you in our prayers. We will keep you in our prayers. Mm-hmm.
Did you do?
Oh no. You gotta go, huh?
Yeah. We'll see you guys. Darn.
We'll see. We'll see you. We'll see you at some point. If not then online. We'll figure it out.
We do our ELA field trip. I feel like there should be a committee. I want to throw ice skating out there.
A field trip. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. You missed everything. Okay.
Can we do it like close to New Year's when we'll be out of isolation?
Right. Exactly. Oh, yeah, we definitely making sure you're part of it. So I'm gonna designate Andreas to be on that committee because he's close to the source. While we're going to on the field trip. It's to see an exhibit at the Museum of Contemporary Art.
Oh, when?
That's the thing. We haven't decided when.
Yeah, I got to set it up so when we can do it.
Are we going to be doing it before the year ends?
Well, we talked about, didn't we talk about January?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because I also got to see if the people who would tour with us, if they might be out of town for the holidays. So
Right.
I'll let you know. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's gonna work all that out, all the background, so we can have the full experience. And we can have maybe a little ice skate, a little brunch or lunch or dinner, whatever,
That ice skating situation, I went ice skating this week. That ice skating situation is a whole other thing now. So
It's not hard.
I'm not saying it's hard. I'm talking about the set. The setup has changed since the pandemic. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were gonna say the knees. I'm like, that's why we're doing the cleaning tomorrow. So every hit the knees.
We're gonna have our knees straight.
No, ice skating. Andres, you're okay. No. Ice skating works out the ankles. Your ankles and calves are the thing.
Lord.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I used to skate all the time as a kid because we didn't have snow, but we had Hilltop Mall. We had indoor ice skating rink, so that was like my almost
you
weekend.
were skating dope mix
all the time. Like
Andres, I can help you. I've ice skated for 13 years.
Look, I can get on the ice, but my body's like, nah, bro. It ain't like roller skating. When you fall, it hurt. It's a whole different type of hurt.
Arms like a soldier and arms out like an airplane. That's how you keep it.
Just
Plus, Andres, they have penguins that you can use to hold on to.
Look. The wooden floors for roller skating are a lot more giving than that ice. The ice is serious.
That's true.
That is true.
That is true.
Kiara's like she's on that. She's on Andreas's team. She's like, I'm team no ice skating. I'm gonna watch on the side and help y'all out.
I'm gonna watch y'all. I'm gonna have some nice hot cocoa. I'm gonna have some hot cocoa on the side. Watch y'all having fun. No doubt.
Cheerleading.
I'll bring a hand warmer.
We gotta put you in a bubble suit. That's all.
I definitely need that because last time I did it, I was like, I'm done for life. I'm good.
And take pictures. See, Kiara, she's making herself use and take pictures too. She's good at man. Look, we'll have a whole experience. We'll have our own in-house photographer capturing the memories. We'll have lots of falls and fun and yeah. Now, hopefully not lots of falls.
No.
Hopefully no falls.
No, we do not want that. No.
I cannot recall the last time I fell while I skated. And even if it's been a long time since I ice skated the last time, I managed to do so without falling. I guess
the muscle memory. That muscle memory will kick in.
Yeah. See how it kicks in at 50, 52, 53. See how it works.
Well, all I'm gonna say is the condition of Millennium Park skates were not satisfactory. That's all I'm gonna say.
Ooh.
Have you went ice skating at the Maggie Daly Ribbon?
I did not go there because, that is even more complex because you're going on a spiral. So I was just at Millennium Park.
I personally think that the Ribbon was way easier and it's a newer establishment. So all of their equipment was like not so worn down, but
that's always good. That's a very good point.
Okay. And it's interesting how they set that all up. I've not been in that at all. I've only driven past it and you can barely see it from where you drive. So I'd have to experience it directly.
It's beautiful. It's a pretty setup.
It's like a lazy river. It's shaped like a lazy river. But when you're skating on it, it's, in my opinion, I feel like it's easier because you don't have to worry about people flying past you. Like,
because there was a lot of that.
When you're in a circle rink, you got people going fast and slow.
Yeah. It's almost like roller skating.
Let me tell you, there was some serious roller skaters out there, I could tell, and they were acting like they were in a roller rink.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we might have to do Maggie Daly
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah. And they
brought
my chocolate.
Yeah. Yay. Okay. Sounds like we have a little bit of a plan coming together.
A little bit. Are we talking, when is this going to be?
We're talking January, maybe? We'll see.
It'll probably be January. Yeah, I'll ask Scheherazade and Leah if there's a particular day. Is it the day of Saturday or Sunday better for people?
If it's the second Saturday, that's my susu. But as long as we, because my susu ends at noon. Other than that, I'm pretty flexible.
Is it Scheherazade Talet?
Yeah. Some of my people.
Well, only one share, so.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna go because she's pulling on the leg guard now.
Oh, nice.
Bye. It was great seeing everybody.
Great seeing everybody. Hope y'all feel better too with this COVID stuff.
Better.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you,
boy. All right. Yeah. So I like this plan. We'll find some place to get some good comfort food.
Yeah.
Afterwards. Yeah, let's do it. Maybe I get Maddie out there and roller skate.
I don't know. She might not want to be hanging with old people, but we'll see.
If she gets to bring one of her friends, she'll do it. She'll definitely do it if she gets to have one of her friends along with the ride. I'm off the second week of January. Well, the second full week of January because we're getting a puppy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it for Maddie?
Yeah. It's for Maddie, but who's gonna take care of it. But yeah, it's for Maddie.
Yeah, we said we get it right. Not she, we getting the puppy, right?
Right. Might as well admit it now. It's not gonna be a Maddie only operation. So yeah, so I'm gonna be off that whole week of January 10th.
Okay.
So yeah, because we're gonna try to. I have a class I teach at UIC. That's the only thing I have, and I have that in the morning. Other than that, I'll be around, and that's on a Wednesday. But I know we're not talking during the weekday.
You'll be back in classes the
second
week?
For the semester, yeah.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, and then I'm not teaching at DePaul this semester because I'm only teaching at UIC. So.
Actually, I have one other quick. Sorry, Sorry, go ahead. I didn't see who was talking.
No, you're good.
No, I just want just a quick question about if people, because I've told a couple people, once the Akban starts, it's like it's a lock in. So are they also locked out? Meaning that like if they come later than 3, are they locked out of the house?
Oh no! You should be able to come.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. They should be able to come. After a certain point, like if they come around 4 or 5, that might be hard because everyone's going to be in process, But if they come 3, 3:30, 4, even possibly, that should be fine.
Okay.
It depends on when we start the process to get things going. So I'll find out from Ia how early she wants us to do that, and then that'll help things move. Helps with knowing where that stop point is.
And yeah, I'll be there with Tim early too.
Oh, okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right, that's right. I keep forgetting. Yeah, that'll be good. Mm-hmm. That'll be good. All right, y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, great seeing y'all. Everybody stay healthy until tomorrow.
Yes. Mask on. Get your breathing in ahead of time. Put that mask on. I might be doubling up on my mask, y'all, for real.
Wow.
It's because this thing is not playing around, man.
I know. It's a serious thing. They closing borders, shutting down countries. I know.
I've been double masked in months.
I just got the what is it, K94, K something. I just got those because those are what are recommended, and I'm just like, okay, my cute cloth ones are not cutting it.
You know, you're right. You're right. I should do the same thing. I should invest similarly. Did you get yours from someplace, or did you order them?
You know, I ordered them because I had to have colors. I could not stand to just have no, you know. So I
need to wear. I need white ones anyway. So I don't need.
You can get them on Amazon.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna do that. See how fast.
You have to make sure it's because some of them are, you know.
Yeah, you gotta read the
reviews. Yeah, you have to read the reviews because some of them are not
actually the same, the real deal.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Let me eat some dinner.
Yep, it's dinner time. I'm with you, Katie.
It is.
I'll see one soon.
See you tomorrow.
Later.
All right.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.